Right, I'm going to have a closer look and a bit of an update really on my R5M Matador. I've had this good few months now. Done a lot of rabbiting with it, shot a lot of rabbits, a couple of crows, a couple of pigeons. All in all, it's proved itself to be a superb hunting rifle. I've got to say, this has become the number one hunting rifle that I've got at the moment. Despite being quite a heavy rifle, and it is a heavy rifle, there's no getting away from that. It's quite a bulky little gun. The balance is beautiful on this thing. It throws mainly to the back. It's not helped either by the fact that it's got this huge recon sight on it. But when you pick it up, I can actually shoot this from the shoulder so easily, it's ridiculous. I've got to say about 90% of my shots with this rifle out hunting have been unsupported standing shots. And that's because it sits so well in the shoulder, because the balance is more towards the back a little bit, which negates its weight really. All right, you've got to carry it around, but once it's actually up on the aim, it's so easy to hold it on target. It's ridiculous. In many ways, it reminds me of my old Daystate Renegade, which was another rifle that was so easy to shoot freehand from a standing position. It was so easy to keep on target, that thing. It was just unreal. And this is exactly the same. Similar sort of layout, and the balance is beautiful on it. With this though, it's very quiet. With this bat silencer on here, I mean, you've got a huge volume of air really there now in the baffling system to quieten down. This rifle is very quiet. So as a hunting gun, it's just under the legal limit, shooting about 11.5 foot-pounds with Hades pellets. And you've seen how accurate it is from my other reviews. I mean, it's blindingly accurate, and it so suits this scope. This recon is such a good match for this rifle. It really is. And it's the little touches I like about this thing, like the little fact that you can carry a loaded mags just tucked under the scope rail. And you know, when I'm hunting, very rarely get through sort of 30 odd 20 rounds. So 2 full mags tucked under there, and away you go, happy days. Your pellets are nice and safe, they're not going to get fluffed up or dirty by having them in your pocket. The mags are ready loaded, right on hand, ready to go. And all in all, this thing's proven itself to be a superb hunting rifle. It's very quiet, very powerful, and blindingly accurate with a really nice trigger. And it's the balance, the fact that I can shoot it so well and so easily offhand. It's just ridiculous, really. It's a lovely, lovely rifle. Very well made. Very, very impressed with it. And I know I had an initial problem with the first one of these that I had delivered. Something wrong with the regulator on it. I think it had actually just popped a seal, but I didn't want to pull it apart, stop messing about with it, because it was still under guarantee. So Graham Denny very kindly swapped it over immediately. No questions asked, no messing about. It was straightforward. Arranged for a courier to pick the rifle that wasn't working up and drop this one off. So really, really good. Very, very happy with the service I got. And ever since then, like I say, I've had this, what, 2.5, 3 months now, something like that, 3 months I think. Seen a lot of work in the field. Hasn't missed a heartbeat. It's just brilliant. It's been really, really good. Reliable, solid little performer. And for a hunting rifle, couldn't really ask for more. The only things I've done to it, I put a Picatinny rail on the front. But you've got plenty of wood to screw in as well. Though I didn't screw it in because it's actually hollow inside. So I took the stock off, drilled through and put bolts on. But that's the only modification I've made on this rifle. I just put the Picatinny rail on it. Other than that, it's exactly as it came. And it's fantastic. Great hunting gun. Really, really good. It's been very, very reliable. I've no problems at all with it. My favourite scope on it. Really nice Akitac bipod on it. I've got the slightly smaller Akitac bipod, which suits it down to the ground, gives you a really nice stable platform. But like I say, most of the time, I must admit, most of my hunting shots with this have been took standing up or kneeling, and it's proved itself to be devastatingly good. So very happy with that. Great rifle. And in the back there is the Anschutz with that Warren Edwards stock on it that I looked at the other day, and you can see that that Spider, the IOI Spider, really is, it's just basically, it's just a sort of scaled down recon. Everything about it's almost exactly the same. Slightly smaller objective lens and a slightly higher magnification range, which better suits target shooting rifle, whereas the Recon starts off at 4 times mag, which is, I think, better for hunting, certainly in woods and places like that where you don't need a higher mag range. And to be fair, most of the rabbits that I shoot, I'm only at 4, perhaps 5 times mag anyway. And then I've got fitted to the Anschutz, I've got the heavier duty, more sort of target orientated, wider stance bipod from Akitac. It's a bit more chunky. I think that rather suits that one, suits it more. But again, that rifle is really lovely, and obviously you don't need any add-on sights with this. With that bat screwed on, I've had no problems with the bat as regards the off-centering with the barrel and the silencer, or the end cap that you sometimes get on some Edgun Matadors. That's not been an issue. The bat, because it's all metal, irons that out, and it really does reduce the sound levels on this gun. It's such a quiet rifle. For a full power 2.2, a full legal UK power anyway, 2.2, it's very, very quiet. Very quiet. And a really fine hunting gun. Love the cocking mechanism. Yes, it's quite industrial. You know, it's not a light, sort of buttery smooth sort of thing, but runs on really nice bearings. And it is smooth, but it is a proper cocking lever. You know, you do have to cock it. You can feel yourself cocking it. It's quite industrial. It's really nice in the hunting field. And I guess really that's where the difference lies between these two rifles, and possibly to a lesser extent my hunting 5. I really couldn't see myself ever taking this thing, even though I've got the hunting stock for it, and I have shot rabbits with it, I've hunted with it, and I will be using this rifle even in this guise for some sort of staked out hunting, you know, where I'm just sort of set myself up 40 yards from the hedgerows where another rabbit's coming out, sit quietly behind a little blind and wait for them to come out and pot them off. I'd only be using that on a nice day, out the rain and when it isn't muddy. I couldn't see myself dragging or taking anything like that, like the Anschutz, out in the pouring rain in the middle of winter, when every gate you come to you're wading through up to your knees in mud and sludge and filth everywhere, and at a minute's notice you might be caught in a hailstorm. I just couldn't ever visualize myself, even though it is the Anschutz hunting, and with that stock on, the other stock, pardon me, the hunting stock, you know, it's probably the same weight as this. I just couldn't see myself taking anything like this Anschutz out in those sort of conditions. This is more of, I don't know, I guess it's a shooting instrument more than a hunting rifle. It's like a fine instrument to do a job, whereas this is a proper full-on get in there hunting rifle that would probably shrug off pouring rain, hailstorms, and even being splashed about in the mud. You know, I would imagine that get it home, dry it off and wipe it over, maybe a bit of grease on the cocking mechanism, and boom, done for this rifle. I think, you know, this, it's made to take that kind of abuse. You've only got to look at where it was made. Made in Russia, and if you look at the Edgun, the videos that Ed makes, you know, they're using them in the snow, the rain, in the woods. They're not, you know, these guns are durable. They're built for that sort of rough, tough, almost levels of abuse. Not that I would ever abuse one of my air rifles, obviously. You know, I mean, I look after them. You know, you get it back from out when it's been out in the rain, clean it down, dry it properly, give it a wipe over with a rag. You know, clean all the stock down, maybe a little bit of oil or whatever, or a bit of Napier on it. But this is certainly able to cope with that. Whereas I think the thought of that getting spattered in cow shit, and or the possibility of dropping the damn thing in the mud by a gate would frankly fill me with dread, really. It's just not that kind of rifle. It's the kind of rifle for taking out a reasonably nice day, banging away at targets, whatever, proper targets or just anything really, bits of twigs, acorns, anything shooting like that. Or if you're going to hunt with it like I have hunted with it in its other stock guys, you know, do it in a nice day, spring, summer afternoons, when the weather's okay. And that's what I'll be using this for, even with this stock on. It will still be getting used for hunting, but it definitely will not be going out when the weather is looking like it might be inclement. And I would imagine that over the winter it will only come out on the really nice days. Whereas this Matador, the R5M, every confidence in the world that this thing's going to just shrug off whatever anything can throw at it, really. It's just built that way. The Steyr's similar. That's another gun. I've used that in all weathers. And again, that's another one that I'm not particularly fussed about using it in the really bad weather. I mean, I've had the Steyr years now and it still looks like brand new. So that's shrugged off everything, anything's thrown at it. No malfunctions, nothing. But I think that this Edgun, the Matador, just purely because of the way it's built, is more suitable for that kind of usage, really. It's a full-on hunting gun. That's not to take anything away from it, not to say that it's agricultural or primitive or anything. It's just that it's more durably finished. You know, everything that's engineered on this is engineered. It's heavy duty engineering. Whereas this is quite fine, delicate engineering. You know, the cocking lever is a beautiful thing, but, you know, everything's quite finely balanced, you know, beautifully finished. It's just got a more delicate level of engineering to it than the Matador, which has got quite a chunky, robust, tough feel, really. I suppose it's horses for courses. But I must admit, this rifle's brilliant. As a hunting gun, it really is really good. Yeah, fantastic little thing. Chunky, well balanced, but very quiet. And very, very accurate as well. It is very accurate. It surprised me how accurate it is, to be honest with you. But it is very, very accurate. And it suits these sort of you know, it suits the Akitat bipods and the big chunky scopes. It's one of them guns. It's a chunky, well engineered, hard sort of rifle that can carry off all that sort of stuff really well and suits them. It's just a beautiful little thing for hunting. And the Hunting 5 again, another one that's the same. It's sort of, the Hunting 5 sort of midway between the two, I suppose. It's midway between the Anschutz and this sort of rifle. So there you go, Matador R5M, my current hunting rifle, full on, 3 months in, no problems at all with it. Fantastically balanced, very accurate, very powerful, and a lovely rifle.